me, GP, Adam, and our wonderful guest, Ark.
Hey, what's
Austin. We're going to call him Austin the entire time, right?
I'm going to call him Ark because that's
I'm
what I
gonna
call
call him
him.
Ark.
Yeah, I prefer art.
Where
but
are we? Why aren't we on the player? Why aren't we on the camera?
We did this every time.
What's
So-
going on?
He's very confused about how streams work. So we are going to, today we're just going to be talking about turning nerves. Hopefully Art can stay awake for an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot I hadn't slept.
Did you not sleep?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you not sleep last night?
I actually didn't sleep last night.
Why?
I was dicking around being really bad at Overwatch and recognized it was like 4:30 in the morning.
And then just didn't sleep?
And then I had an opening shift at my job, so I was like,
Oh.
I'll just stay awake. And then, world's worst decision.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty
Are you
not-
on the adrenaline right now of like staying awake for so long?
No,
This
it's
is where it
it's
comes
mostly
down.
the Adderall at this point.
Oh, good. Me too.
Yeah.
This
Uh,
is where it comes down at that time because it's like 8 and you haven't slept and then you're just like, oh fuck, I actually have no energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first off, tell the people who you are.
I'm Austin Art Conley.
Okay.
That's about it. Top 100 on Melee and On Me. Number 82 this year, I believe.
Yeah.
This is
Oh, wow.
the
Slayer of Zoo.
Slayer of Zoo. This is the third year in a row that I made it on.
It's pretty good.
Been playing since December 2005.
It's a long
God damn.
Back when you were Save the Queen.
Yes, actually, I changed my tag for a bit. It wasn't for too long, but I did change it to Save the Queen
Why?
because I thought that was a cooler tag. My tag
Oh.
was this close to being Bangarang.
Bangarang?
would've,
Like the Skrillex song?
Everyone says the Skrillex song, but no, because this was back in like you have to keep in mind. This is
Oh, yeah,
back
it's
in
like in
2004,
05, right?
2005. It was the war cry of the Lost Boys from Hook.
Oh, okay.
Bangarang, Peter.
Okay.
I always remembered that. I don't know why, but it was just
Okay.
like
So Ark's a weirdo.
super hype.
That's fine.
Uh-huh.
It was so hype, you know. And I
That's
can
fine.
imagine like a whole bunch of people saying Bangarang,
So-
cheering for me and shit.
Since we're gonna talk about not Bangarang, I got really excited and wanted to say Bangarang. though.
You are ruining.
Right?
So-
See how hype it is?
We're gonna talk about turning nerves. So tell us your history with turning nerves, starting from the beginning until now, I guess.
Starting from the beginning, it wasn't too bad because I had played a lot. We used to have weeklies, just get-togethers, things like that. We'd have a monthly once, and kids today are spoiled. We didn't have weekly tournaments. We had weekly Smash Fests.
Oh,
We
really?
had one monthly where we got to prove our shit, and then
Mhm.
after that, we're fucked.
That was what it was like when I moved here.
Yeah. So, the pressure was definitely on, but it was a little bit different because all of us were, kind of friends and kind of not friends. Some of us. And, yeah, it was a lot different than it is now.
Yeah.
So,
I
man,
imagine so.
blast from the past. I'm just thinking back about it now. Zelek talking shit. Fucking asshole. So yeah, nerves back then it wasn't too bad. Then it started getting a little bit worse the better I got.
Do you think that's just because you put more pressure on yourself?
I was putting a lot of pressure on myself.
Okay.
And then I got into a very unhealthy friendship with someone.
This is a story I've heard many a time, but it is
This is right when I changed my tag to Save the Queen. I entered a tournament, lost to a friend of mine. This is one of the 3 events I ever cried at. I cried and threw my controller away
After the loss?
after the loss. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
It was that dramatic for me because we had been practicing and playing and trying so hard, and I was so close to beating the best player in the state at that time. That was the first time I'd taken a match off of him, and I got him down to his last stock, high percent. Everything was going
When
great
was
for
this?
me, and then that was back in like
2006. It had to be 2006.
2006.
What was this just at your monthly?
This was at a San Antonio tournament where Dope and Tink came from.
Okay.
Who was the best? Who was the player that was the best in Texas at that time?
Fesslick Tree.
Okay.
Who did
Fastlick
he
Tree.
play?
Or no, I'm sorry, Caveman.
Caveman was still the best.
Caveman
at
and
this
Fastlick Tree were going back and forth, but
Okay.
Caveman had been more consistent.
point? Okay. How
that
good?
time.
This is an off-topic question. How good was Rob Money?
Romani was very good.
Okay.
Romani was very good. He was actually
I
just
know Caveman and
legitimately
Rob Money were like really, really close.
good. Caveman was a tier above.
Okay.
Caveman was a tier above everybody else except for Fast Like Tree. Fast Like Tree just started beating on people.
Really?
Yeah, like Die Superfly, the guy who had beaten Ken before.
Yeah.
Without knowing any technical things, Fast Like Tree nearly beat him.
Oh,
with,
wow.
With nothing but forward tilt, down tilt, up throw, or up throw, up air.
Who
With
was
nothing
this?
but those.
Or what,
Fast
who
Like,
did you main?
Fast Like Tree. Fox.
Fox?
Yeah.
Wow.
With
Who did
nothing-
Caveman play?
Caveman played a bunch of different characters because
Because I
so,
remember
like,
the name is familiar.
I know Caveman.
Yeah.
He's a Sheik main, though, right?
Yeah, so in the Crystal City crew, everyone in the crew had to play a different character. Nobody in the crew could play the same character,
Of course.
right? Because that makes the most sense. So Caveman had to pick up a bunch of different characters. He had to pick up Young Link, Dr. Mario, Sheik, and just a whole bunch of weird, characters other than Sheik. So his matchup spread for anything was really, really good. He didn't struggle against floaties because he had Young Link at the time. He didn't struggle against hardly anything. So back in the day, people talk about Ken and Isaiah and how good they were. It was Ken, Isaiah, and Caveman typically.
Oh, wow.
For a little while, it was
Mhm.
like that, and then maybe Rob Money or some other person.
Mm-hmm.
So Hugs or something like that. Maybe not Hugs. I don't think Hugs was quite that good back then. But anyway, so
Okay.
yeah, Texas was a powerhouse. We had some of the best. We had some of the best players out there. But anyway, that tournament, I had put a whole bunch of pressure on myself, and I was in that unhealthy friendship. And finally, I said I quit the game. I'm done. And my buddy said, "No, let's give it one more shot." And then we trained for an entire summer and treated each other like absolute dog shit.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was horrible.
Why do you think that happened?
Because both of us hated losing to each other.
Oh.
We could not handle it. Losing to the other person was just completely unacceptable. Just not okay.
Even in friendlies?
Absolutely in friendlies.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
that's where most of it came from, right?
Exactly.
You
Okay.
train-
It was to the point where one of us would pick a different character and beat their main, and refuse to give them any more games that day. Be like, "No, dude, you lost to my fucking nest. You're trash. You're not worth my time.
Okay.
Fuck you," and that kind of shit. So
Okay.
yeah, it was super unhealthy. But man, doing that back and forth and pissing each other off and going over like that, really, it helped us improve, dramatically improve.
Okay.
So after that point, the very next tournament that I entered, I won. I beat all the best players in Texas at that time. I beat Zelik, Sauce, Caveman twice in grand finals, which I lost to Zelik early
Okay.
on, and Zelik said, "Don't worry, you could still win this. You are playing amazing." And then, shout outs to Zelik for that, by the way.
Well, had you completely switched to Marth at this point?
I hadn't completely switched to
Okay.
Marth. I had just started practicing a whole bunch of Fox that summer.
So what character did you mainly go that tournament?
I went Marth for the first two games, and I was in losers. Caveman was in winners, and I lost the first two games, Marth against Sheik. Picked Fox and didn't drop a single game after that, and just won 6 games straight. So,
Wow.
yeah, which was unheard of, especially against Caveman at that
Mhm.
point in time. And then around then is when people started considering me one of the best players, if not the best player in Texas. After that point, after beating all those players consistently, so, and yeah,
Did you just dominate everyone at that point, or did
Uh,
nerves take over at a certain point?
Wobbles was still in Arizona at this point, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably
Nerves.
just moved at that point.
Nerves
Okay.
were really bad, but it wasn't to the point of it was more to the point of aggression and anger.
That's arguably worse.
Yeah.
Yes, way worse, way worse.
Okay.
But the nerves didn't start happening until I had established myself as a good player. Because after that point, I was top dog.
Mhm.
I can't lose to anyone. Yada yada. I'm the king shit of Fuck Mountain. So it's only at that point I would start having close sets, and I would get really nervous. My heart would start
Who was giving you trouble?
pumping. Just randoms.
Just
I couldn't lose to randoms.
Yeah.
This guy's doing well against me. He just took the first stock. What's going on? Why is my heart beating this fast?
Yeah.
And, you know, just a lot of stuff like that. And I finally realized nerves is all about mentality, honestly. It's all about your outlook. If you're nervous about your next opponent, for like, man, I really don't want to have to play against Wobbles. I really don't want to have to do this. I really, really, really don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Then that already sets up like a negative kind of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it in a different light, in kind of like I call it like a challenger mentality, like, man, this is awesome. I get to fight against Wobbles. Like, I have a chance of playing him, you
Mhm.
know, like, this is awesome. This is going to be such a great experience.
Yeah, I think that brings up a point of like, that's because I often get more nervous around people playing against people my skill level than I do people above me. Because I feel like a lot of it's just you don't have anything to lose when you play someone above you.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
how I feel
You
too.
gotta, but like when you're playing someone at like your level and maybe slightly below, it's like you're trying to prove something to yourself.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of people make mistakes too,
Mhm.
is they get stuck in this like, oh man, I call it spaghetti mode, where
I
two
think
players.
a lot of people have been in spaghetti mode.
Yes, two players who are normally not bad get stuck in spaghetti mode, and neither knows what the fuck they're doing, and they're just dash attacking all over the place. And
Fox it's a lot
rolling.
of full hop back here.
Lots of full hop
Yeah.
back here, lots of like really awkward running, like roll away stuff.
Yeah.
So really, really silly stuff. And the thing is, at that point, people are so concerned about the win.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all they think about. They use all of their energy thinking about the win, and it takes all the energy out of the game.
Mhm.
All the energy they were using to focus on the game and play it, they took it out. When you have something called the why mentality, the why, what, and how.
Mm-hmm.
Why did this work? What just happened? And how can I get around this?
Mhm.
Basically, is ultimately those three questions.
Okay.
And when you ask yourself those three questions over and over and over and over again when you're playing, you don't have enough time to think, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, am I going to lose this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that helped me the most was, well, there's two things. It's when I play the game, I try to not think about the person I'm playing, but what the character on the screen is doing.
Yes.
Because at the
Right.
end of the day, that's the only thing that matters.
Mhm.
I feel like if you focus on the other person's character and you try to really focus on that, your brain just like doesn't have time to focus on whether you could lose or not.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're focused, if you have like not 100% focus, but if
Mhm.
you have enough focus into the game, then you're not going to have to worry about stuff like that, because people are only limited to their character.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they can't really do anything outside the game to really like fuck with you, unless
Mhm.
they do something really, really silly.
Yeah.
Like tap your chair or something like
I
that.
usually think like that until I played someone like Plup in bracket, and then it was
Yeah.
just completely different, you know? Cause it's
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah. When I was playing against somebody, like if I played against you in tournament, or when
Yeah.
I played against Wobbles in tournament.
Yeah, well, I
Mm.
can tell you exactly why.
Yeah.
It's because you take your actions for granted.
Yeah. It's like this is big.
Movement with meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
When you start having excess movement and you get fucked up for it,
Yeah, you get
that's when you
destroyed.
start getting real scared real fast. And good players will sniff that out really quick, and they will push that advantage really hard.
Yeah, they'll destroy you for dashing forward once, and
You don't ever want to dash forward again, and then you give up stage space, and then it's like, well, what do I do now?
yeah.
I
Against
cornered
Plup, I
myself.
was more thinking about how I was like not even nervous, but I was more thinking like I'm playing against Plup right now than actually figuring. out what
Just
he
like,
was doing.
how is this fair to me?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so
his character does more
You're on
damage
top of
than
Texas
mine.
at this point. When did you move to Kansas?
Oh, you weren't even in Texas?
At a point, he wasn't in Texas.
Okay.
God, I moved to Kansas in 2009.
Were you always on top from the period where you got on top to the period you moved to Kansas?
Yes, except
Okay.
for the very last tournament where I left. With Fast Like Tree entered, and then we played in grand finals.
And you lost?
And then I lost to him then.
Had he just not shown up in a long time?
He just hadn't showed up in a long time.
But he was still just really good.
He was still really good, but like, I don't know. Johns.
Okay.
It was basically like, hey buddy, like,
Yeah,
told
but-
you I would be the best in Texas. Let
Yeah,
me
so
show you
got
this
fucked.
shit.
Get
Yeah.
wrecked. Okay, so
Exactly.
moving on to Kansas, how were the nerves there? Because You and Darkern traded places, right?
Yes, at the exact same time almost.
So are you the best player in Kansas?
The second I moved there, I was the best player.
Okay.
And I
Do you have any
hate
competition?
to say it, not really. DMAC kind of could give me a lot of trouble. Jace was just starting to come up, and he was giving me a lot of trouble. Jace is in California now.
Yeah.
He's the Falcon player.
Oh, that Jace?
He's oh my god, I love Jace so much. Shout outs to the Kansas homies, seriously. The Rockhawk, Jayhawk, all them.
Mhm.
Of course.
Of course, they're all super cool. Z kind of gave me a little bit of trouble, but other than that, I mean, I was winning tournaments like drunk out of my mind. I had a horrible alcohol issue at that point in
Okay.
time, so due to a not so great relationship. So
Art does not smoke or drink anymore, though.
Let's go. Good
He
shit,
can't
Art.
quit Melee, though. That one's impossible.
it's so hard. It's so hard.
Was it harder than like quitting alcohol or smoking?
Oh yeah, by far.
Like really?
I'm actually not kidding.
Wow.
Quitting Melee is hella hard.
I
Well, yeah.
sat down and said, okay, today I'm going to do what I did with smoking and do what I did with alcohol, and I am just not going to do it today. And I used something called neurolinguistics programming, and I focused and did as much as I could. And it might be because of my health issues currently, but I just couldn't stop thinking about all these interactions that I could have with my opponent and,
Mhm.
all these other things, how I would build, a certain approach to beat something my opponent would do, or how I could condition them into doing something.
Also, it's just so fun thinking.
It
theory
is.
crafting,
It
having
is
a
so
good
much
time.
fun.
It's like therapeutic almost. It's one of those things that is like good to escape from other bad things for a little bit.
Yeah.
The Melee can be your safe place
Yeah.
if you're just playing by yourself. That's how I figure it. Like if I'm like in a
Mhm.
sad mood, I can just lap for a bit.
The most fun I've ever had playing it in the game is when I was playing alone.
Yeah, exactly. You can
The
just play
most
alone
fun,
sometimes
yeah.
and just
And that's when I've learned the most, and that's when I've actually gotten the best results.
yeah.
Honestly.
Okay, so you weren't getting nervous in Kansas.
I wasn't. I was getting drunk in Kansas. I wasn't getting too nervous.
Okay.
I played against Mewtwo King for the first time.
Did he mess you up?
Well, Where?
And he,
Was it just at a
this
weekly?
This is in a First Baptist church where I was trashed at.
Okay.
Played him in one set, and he beat the brakes off me. I had never been beaten that bad before,
Okay.
and that really pissed me off. And then I sobered up, and then had 3 really close games with him. And then I was kind of nervous during it, and the nerves during that point is exactly why I lost.
Mhm.
Because I was like, I really want to beat Mewtwo King. I really want to beat Mewtwo King. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can get this one. I can get this one. And I kept saying that to myself, and I lost all focus and all energy I was putting into the game
But
at that time.
you can't focus on the person next to you. You gotta focus on the character on the screen.
And who,
Exactly.
Who did Mewtwo King main at this point? Marth?
Marth. We were doing Marth that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was, he wasn't like full Fox anymore at that point.
No.
No, that was after. Well, yeah. Was that 2007? No, that was 2009. So yeah, he was definitely Marth.
Mhm.
Okay, so you moved back to, I think Tierno told me Austin around 2011.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who was the best around then when you moved back?
When I moved back, I think it was either Tierno or Cal.
Okay, so Tierno, what Tierno told me was Cal was the best, and Tierno was like just coming up.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Tierno wasn't just coming up, but Tierno was starting to beat Cal.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then MT was on the come up and like had potential, and Tierno was like swooped him up.
Okay.
Okay.
But was anyone? I know what he told me was you were just still the best when you got back.
When I got back, I was still the best, so I was very cocky. After that
Okay.
summer, and then after I moved to after that summer of having that really horrible relationship
Mhm.
with my friend, and that like training and all that, I did not place outside of the money for a very long time, like a very long
Okay, so
time.
and Wobbles isn't back.
Marbles isn't back yet. No.
Where
So-
was he?
He was in Arizona.
Still in Arizona?
Mhm.
When did he move
Late
to Texas?
2013.
13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, early 2014 actually.
Yeah, so it was after you.
Then there was a Dallas
Yeah.
tournament, Dime, Well, I think it might have been like the first time.
That was in like early 2013.
Really?
Yeah,
Couldn't have been that.
that wasn't time. It probably wasn't time then.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have been
Super
like
early.
it could have been an Emily Sung tournament, in, like
It could have
early
been.
2012.
What's the most nervous set you've ever had?
Most nervous set I've ever had. Most nervous set. Oh God, that's easy. Me versus DOH. Holy shit.
DOH, he's
The
the
Wait,
peach
the
Peach
one
one?
from Forte won?
When I had the panic attack. Yeah.
Oh.
You had a. Well, I was gonna say that one set where you played wobbles at the dime.
What happened then?
You almost passed out.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you
Oh.
were. Wobbles like had to like calm you down mid set.
Oh, I remember that now. Yeah. Yeah, that was really, really bad.
Like, were the nerves, did they come from the game?
No. So that's another
what I-
really huge point that I want to
Okay.
make
Okay.
now. Like a huge point. There's a difference between turning nerves and actual anxiety, and people need to understand that. Like
Okay.
for actual anxiety, you got to look into like medication, maybe therapy, something like that.
And medication isn't a bad thing.
Not necessarily.
Don't let people tell you it's a bad thing.
Not. Yeah. It's.
'Cause I feel like a lot of people think like
Yeah.
nowadays, especially people are just coming up with excuses, which isn't true at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Medication is perfectly fine.
It is perfectly fine. Well, what do you think you had during that set with wobbles? Was it anxiety or nerves?
Let's see.
I guess it very well could have been both.
It
Yeah,
could.
it was. I'm pretty sure it was both. I was nervous because I still wanted to do really well, and I still wanted to beat him,
Uh-huh.
but I was nervous. I was anxious if I did beat him, what might happen and what might go down, obviously, because Wobbles did have a tendency to get kind of upset at that point, and I think I had just recently started taking sets from him.
So would you think anxious is more like related to, well, nervous is more worrying about what's going to happen, and anxious is more worried about what's going to happen as a result of something else happening?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
So, or something that has previously happened. So I don't mind sharing. The reason why I wore the shades originally was because of K-Berry. He and I started teaming, and we wore shades.
Yeah,
and
because
it
he
was
had
fun.
prescription sunglasses.
Yeah, because he had prescription sunglasses, and it was fun.
Oh, so it's
but
just
I
kind of
realized
like a joke.
it was kind of like a joke, but
Okay.
I realized that I couldn't see people out of my peripherals hardly at all. I could only see like the glare on the TV screen, and that was it, right? Like I could just see the TV screen, and it really, really helped me because in the span of 1 week, I suffered 2 traumatic incidents that really, really, really messed me up.
Okay.
Being around people, so social anxiety to the max. Like,
Right.
Okay.
could not be around people without getting nervous or like really anxious, like clenching my chest, kind of.
I've
kinda
noticed
stuff.
these tendencies before.
So yeah, through years of therapy though, I have overcome this and am fine.
Better now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's go back to, I guess, your history with tourney nerves and
Sure.
So mid 2011. Okay, well, first of all, what was the Dallas tournament you were going to talk about?
Actually, I want to hear about the DOH set first.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
yeah,
we
actually.
talked about that.
Yeah, yeah,
The
before
DOH.
we-
Oh, that's like, I think that was the second week after the week that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Happened, and I had quite a few people around me, and the whole crowd was cheering for me and everything else.
What, this was Forte 1, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Forte's, where's that, San
it's in
Antonio?
Austin. It's in
That's
Austin.
in
Austin.
So wait, you couldn't have been wearing the sunglasses at this point because you didn't know K-Berry until 2013.
I wasn't wearing
2014.
sunglasses.
Okay, so yeah, I remember that set very clearly.
Yeah.
And like, was
Oh,
so did like.
So what happened?
I was
Felt
I was
like my heart was
referencing-
about to pop out of my chest.
I was referencing like nerves due to like who you have to play. Is that what that really was in that?
I wasn't afraid of having to play DOH necessarily. I knew that he was a really good player and I respected him a lot. Because DOH was very good back in the day. He was a very hyper aggressive Peach.
Yeah.
And he hit hard. He hit harder than any other Peach like that I had played other than Zelig.
Oh, really?
Yeah, other than Zelig, which was probably among the best Peaches in the world at that time.
Yeah, it was like Court and Zella.
It was like
Dahl.
Court, Zelig, Dahl, yeah. DOH hit super hard, so I was like really kind of, trying to anticipate that, and was a little maybe on edge about it, just a
Mhm.
little bit, but yeah.
But was
So-
it mostly like an anxiety thing?
It was an anxiety
Okay.
attack. It was a panic attack.
Okay.
So.
So it was just kind of a combination of like the whole crowd was there watching and
Because everyone was huddled around me, and it was so loud, and me
Mhm.
being half deaf and being able to hear that clear for that many people just threw me through a loop.
Yeah, that was
So-
one of the, that crowd was one of the loudest I've ever like heard at like a Texas regional, especially for one that size, only that size.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sure that didn't help
the
much.
the tier no bracket run was one of the
Yeah.
craziest things that's ever happened.
Holy crap! Shout out to Tierno. That's
What
freaking
happened to
awesome.
Tierno? Does he still play?
He
He still
plays a
plays,
little,
he
but
just
he's
got
just
married.
married. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like a lifer.
But,
whatever.
I've like heard him.
Yeah.
I've heard about
He
him.
does a lot
Yeah.
of net play now, though.
He does.
Yeah, he does a lot of net
Yeah,
play.
that's where I
and he's
first
getting better.
heard about him.
Yeah, I've heard about him so much. I've heard about him and Alp. I met Alp for the first time at
Alp?
Dream
Oh,
Austin,
yeah.
Okay,
Alp.
so
Oh, really? Cool.
late 2011, you're dominating Austin.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do Mojo and Tierno and like MT and all those guys start to give you trouble? Because I know there's a point where Tierno has a super positive record against you now.
Yeah. There was one tournament in Dallas that I remember. I
Okay.
don't know what it was.
That's fine.
I do remember that this is kind of off topic. Jake 13 and I both grabbed bananas, like actual bananas, and
Okay.
like we were commentating, with them
Oh.
behind people,
Okay.
and making fun of like thorax and stuff like that,
Okay.
and just being
Dude,
obnoxious.
that was when Cameron just started playing. I
Yeah,
imagine.
exactly. That's like right when he just started playing. So, let's see. After that, I had to play against Tierno, and Tierno gave me a run for my money. And this was the first time that he started playing with MT a little bit more, and
Yeah.
started beating Cal really badly,
Okay.
and made Cal quit, I believe.
I
Wow.
heard about
Tierno?
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got stuck on the ledge. I used to go to the ledge, right? Because why not just go to the ledge
Yeah,
and
and
then grab
Tierno
them?
doesn't let you off the ledge.
And yeah, like Edgar is Tierno, by the way. I know top players.
Oh, good for you.
Ooh.
Special, but Tierno would not let me off the ledge. If I got on the ledge, I got stuck.
Oh,
And if I
really?
it was bad. It was really bad. I had never experienced anything like that at that point before.
Mm.
So I barely clutched it out against him. Barely. And then I had to play against Mojo. And Mojo in winners finals, I believe I beat him there, but it was close. It was game 5.
Okay.
And then he beat me 2 sets in a row after that. And that was the first
In
time.
Grands?
Yeah, in Grands. And that was the first time that like I really kind of had to start thinking, okay, people are catching up to me.
And what
Like,
year was this?
I think 2011.
Probably 2012.
2011, 2012.
Yeah, 'cause those
something
are
like that.
around. Probably 2012, if I'm guessing. Because Dallas really, as far as I know, really didn't do anything in 2011.
Yeah.
Like, we started hosting more in 2012 because of Emily.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gabe kind of took over those reins.
Yeah.
Right, because Gabe hosted Dime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Super sick tournaments.
So did you
Yeah, Dime's great.
start to get like nervous whenever you were playing Tierno, or was it only really like Tierno, Mojo, MT that were like giving you nervous, or are you still having the trouble with like people that are a tier below you are like taking a stock first for me?
People that are a tier below me are taking stocks quickly now. Why is this fucking happening?
Yeah.
So that started happening, and that started sinking in, and it was, oh my God, what are people going to think when they find out that I lost to this person? Why? What are they going to think? They're going to laugh at me. I'm going to feel like an idiot.
Mhm.
This is going to suck so bad. And I
Like,
started,
are these like you're thinking this like during the game?
during the sets.
Okay.
It is like, focus. It's the same thing,
Right.
I
It's just
wasn't,
taken
I didn't
away.
have the mentality of the why,
At this point, okay.
Yeah, why, what, and how. And, I didn't have that. And it just pulled me out of the game, and it pulled me into this really sinking pit. And
Mhm.
I just couldn't get out, and I would lose to, like, Blue Zaft. I hadn't lost to Blue Zaft in forever, and I lost to Blue Zaft at a tournament. And he suicide dared me, and I thought it was the freaking dumbest thing in the world. But
Did Blues have to play
Marth.
Marth?
It was a Marth Ditto.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He still plays Marth.
He still plays
He
Marth.
was
Oh, he
Marth-
does?
he
Okay.
was
Still plays
always-
Marth against Fox.
Yeah, the only
Okay.
reason he switched to Puff is because, well, he said it's because he was like, well, I mean, I kind of just dominated Dallas at a point, so I wanted to do something else, so now he just plays Puff instead.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so that's when I started kind of tanking and losing to certain players, like losing to players that I typically wouldn't, having really close sets with people I not normally, but I had beaten before, like Sauce back in the day.
Oh, right.
I had, closer sets with him than I had previously, things like that, so.
Interesting.
And so that was probably making you a bit anxious, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
knowing how am I going to meet in bracket?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have that
The
feeling.
nerves of, fuck, I really don't want to play this guy. I really don't want to play this guy. I really don't want to play this guy. Thinking about that instead of having the mentality of, hell yeah, like.
Yeah,
this
I
is
get
my
to play
opponent.
this guy.
I get to play this guy. I get to show them what I am, and what I've accomplished with my training.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, really the underdog mentality of nobody expects anything from me. And that is really, really important. You need to be able to have that. And you need to be able to have that drive to improve as well.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
improvement is the goal. Winning isn't
Yeah.
the goal.
So would you say it's better to look at everyone you play, lower level, top level, doesn't matter, as an opportunity rather than, well, obviously it's probably better than a chore, which is I feel like what a lot of people view it as a lot of the time.
If you aren't four-stocking someone consistently at super low percent, you have something to learn from that player.
That's what Sleepy K said.
Yeah.
If you can't JV5 someone, if you can't JV5 a person, there's things to be learned.
Yes.
There
Yep.
always is things to be learned. And JV5ing is nearly impossible. Every
Sure.
time you get hit, you lost a neutral exchange, so there's probably
Yeah.
something to
I think
look
we've gotten
into.
like 7 or 8.
Good for you.
I don't know.
So those are times that you haven't learned anything, 'cause
Yeah.
you just didn't even get hit.
No.
So
Well,
you've
also shenanigans on one.
Well, yeah,
one.
yeah.
I'll
The heart.
So
I got
there's-
the heart.
I'll
You've
type
been
that
playing-
out and
you've been
frame it
playing-
and put it on the refrigerator for
You've been
you.
playing for 12 years, and there's only been like 8 times.
Yeah.
You did.
But you
Were
didn't
you like
play.
JV5 them in tournament
Not
or just in friendlies?
friendlies.
Friendlies
Oh,
are just as
I had
important
my
as
only
tournaments.
Well, yeah, I
JV5
know,
was
I'm-
the tournament.
Yeah, and that was back when I was with Apollo Games. They would I would sleep in the store sometimes.
Okay.
And Parker is the owner of the store, and he would ring somebody up, right, and be like, all right, well your totals is 136. He's like, all right, well I'll let you have all this for free if you can beat him at Melee. You're like, oh okay, like hell yeah. Like, hey Austin, wake up. Like, yeah, what's up? Play this guy. It's serious, so play serious. Okay.
And then-
It's just
Washed them.
Really?
washed them, all of them.
Because I didn't know who you were.
Yeah, and Parker would always be like, "You want to try again? That won't be necessary."
Was there, was
I
there
will give you
anyone
all-
that ever just gave you a slight bit of trouble that was better than you thought they'd be? Like a random critter?
No,
Come on.
but I do feel really bad because I made fun of one person when I was beating him, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
really?
have. Yeah.
Was it just like a
was-
random customer?
It was someone that they didn't like really want around, and he was kind of really obnoxious and rude to people.
Oh.
So like, I kind of did to him what he was doing to other people, but just way more excessively.
No.
So, because I already knew like 5 steps ahead what he was going to do.
Yeah.
So, I could literally say it, have it happen, and then read it, punish it, do it all over again. So,
Oh, really? Is that what you would do? You would
Yeah.
say like,
so don't roll, don't roll, don't roll. Why the fuck you rolling? I just told you 3 times.
Don't
Are you-
roll.
Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit.
Okay.
So, just being a dick.
Okay, so
Anyway. Yeah.
we're 2013 era,
Mm-hmm.
late 2013. We got Wobbles coming back,
Yes.
and that you playing against Wobbles, seeing you play against Wobbles more was when I saw the nerves really
Yes.
kick in.
Yeah. I was very nervous against Wobbles.
you guys weren't like living together still, right?
No,
Still?
I-
How recent
He
was
was
that?
living
Like
in
2
Austin.
years?
I was in Austin.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was still in
okay.
Austin. Well, I guess me and Ark's history is, I think it was around 2015 when you started coming to a lot of the M&Ms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we had housed JF once before.
Oh, that's right, for King of the House, right?
Yeah, and you,
yeah.
and you started, you would come up like every week
Yeah.
and just turn it to him moving in here. Because it's better than where he was living before. Let's go.
Yeah.
Ha! Let's go.
Pump it up.
Oh my God, what?
Don't worry about it.
Nothing. It's,
So, yeah, 2014 Wobbles. Why do you think you got so nervous against Wobbles?
just because he was like an established player? Or
He was
like-
such a good player, and
Yeah, because
I worked so hard.
when he moved here, the last tournament he had entered was EVO 2013, and he got second.
Yeah.
Like just destroying a lot of the other
He
people
was
in
such a
this
good
lane.
player, and I had been practicing so hard to beat, like, the best players in the world. After I had been shown that, like, these players are starting to step up to me. You know, they're starting to beat me consistently now. I need to really step my shit up if I want to continue doing this.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to do it in an unhealthy way again.
Yeah.
Because that was not something I ever want to go through again in my entire life. ever.
Yeah, that just sounds like excessively unhealthy.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely horrible. We treated each other so bad. But anyway, so, you know, I just worked really, really hard, and I wanted to beat him. I knew I could do it. I'm so close. I'm almost there. And then, damn it, I gave it away again.
Mhm.
I had it. I knew I had it.
Is this
What
kind
happened?
of the time period where you are like, getting the mentality of like asking yourself like how, what, why
Yeah.
kind of stuff?
Mhm.
Okay.
And this is when I start thinking of the mental game, kind of, really. You know,
Right.
like, I had visited with PPMD for a little bit.
Kevin Nanny.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when that was. And we talked a lot about the mental game and about the, you know, inner game as well. All the mix-ups, everything, neutral game, all that kind of stuff. And I say all that kind of stuff, just clumping it all together, but it's just so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just working, you know, really hard at it and thinking, all right, well, I know exactly why I gave that away. You know, I gave it away because I was thinking about the win. I wasn't thinking about, you know, what the previous interaction with my opponent
Right.
was.
You were
So-
thinking about something that wasn't related to the game that was
Yes.
happening in front of you. That's
Mhm.
all you. I mean, if you want to play the game well, that's the best. The only thing you should be thinking about is what is happening on the screen.
You won't always lose if that happens, if you're thinking only about the W.
Yeah.
But there is
It's more likely.
It's way more likely. The only chance is the other person's thinking about it more than you are.
Yeah.
That's why I think actually what calms me down is like everyone's nervous.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like whenever I start getting really bad nerves, I'm like, he's probably more like scared than I am, and I just kind of
Mhm.
lose anyway because
Yeah.
I'm not that good yet.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. But I don't know. I never had super big problems with turning nerves. I guess just because of that kind of mindset. I guess. I was always more concerned about like how am I going to get better after this tournament than
Yeah.
you know, because I knew there really was not a very good chance I was going to win anyway, so I didn't really feel like I had much to be worried about. I guess at that level.
Yeah.
What, like playing against somebody that's way better than you?
Yeah, it's just
Well,
like
yeah. Like
because
if
like
you're playing against like Mojo round
yeah,
two,
like a
players,
year ago when I would show up to M&M sometimes, I'd be like, well, I know I'm not good enough to like win the tournament, so it's like I would look at each individual set as like, okay, you
Let's
know,
learn from this.
what do I need to learn about this character? Like, what kind of whatever
Mhm.
other stuff should I get better at?
I know that my tournaments mainly come from the beginning of the tournament, like right when we're about to start.
Your nerves, you mean?
Yeah, my nerves. I'm like, who am I about to have to play?
Yeah,
Is
just like
this
this-
bracket finished.
Mhm.
Am I gonna get fucked by seeding? Because like you know, sometimes you have bad experiences with tournaments in the past.
The thing about seeding,
Yeah.
fuck seeding.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit about seeding.
Yeah.
Don't look at the bracket. Don't pay attention to it. The only opponent that matters is the one that gets called against
Yeah.
you.
So what I started to do was, yeah, exactly. So what I started to do is instead of looking at like my whole entire bracket, like who will I have to face if I beat the
Yeah.
next four people
It was,
I play against, I crop it out
Yeah.
to where I only see
Yeah.
who I'm playing against first. Or if I have a
Yeah.
bye, then like I look at the winner of like who am I going to play the winner of, and then I like kind of prepare and. I'll as soon as the tournament starts, I'll find the person immediately and just get it over with. You
That's
know?
what I do, too.
I'm like, let's play now, and then I'll have time to think and just cool myself
Yeah.
down more.
That was harder for me because the time period I was attending most M&Ms was the time period where I was seeding all of the M&Ms.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I had to look at
so yeah, you
Yeah.
had to be
So,
like,
But there's also some other stuff with the nerves. Is where are the nerves coming from?
right.
Right. That's another really, really big thing. Is okay, I'm playing, I'm doing fine, but Dave, fuck you. Oh man, that guy hates me. I feel bad about myself.
Yeah, right.
I'm losing, no. And then,
Mhm. And then it just kind of spirals, right?
and then it can spiral like that. And, I've had experiences with that, same thing. So, what helped me with that, actually, is I would try and find audio clips. Albert does this too, actually. Find audio clips of people doing, like, shit-talking and a whole bunch of other stuff and play it really loud while you're practicing. And pretending it's like a tournament match, just like shadowboxing and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
I can
Okay.
just bring GP over to the house sometimes and you just
Yeah, he'll
scream
just
at you.
scream.
That's what I used to have people do at Apollo as well. I'd have people.
Oh, like
walk-
actually, really?
I would have them
I
talk shit to
imagine
me and
Quentin-
kick my chair intentionally.
I'd be good at
Quentin go hard.
Quentin Parker too. So they'd be walking by and I'd be practicing playing against someone and they would kick the back of my chair really hard and just I would make them be as aggressive as possible.
So they'd be like even more aggressive than anything that would ever actually happen to you
Exactly.
in tournament. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
okay,
somebody bumps
yeah.
my chair, like just barely, it's like
it
I don't
doesn't
need.
phase you.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
the Quentin.
It just kicked across the room.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go.
There was one instance where I was really happy that had happened because I played Blazing, a Samus player at CEO, and they
CEO, what year?
2014,
Okay.
I think, 2013, 2014, something like
Okay.
that. And they told my friends that they had to leave, but the other people got to stay who were Blazing's friends. So all of Blazing's friends were cheering against me, and Blazing wins game 1.
Mm-hmm.
I
And,
remember this set.
Were you there?
Someone
No,
had
I
their.
just watched it. It
Okay.
was also the set where the notorious shootout shield break happens.
Oh yeah, and one of Blazing's friends has his hand on my chair, and he's like, yeah, let's go, and I can feel the vibrations
Oh.
through it. And I'm sitting there playing, and I'd finish the next match, and I beat him, and I lean back, and I'm like, hey, would you please stop doing that? That's really bothering me. And it didn't take me until the end of the set to finally have it bother me, but I didn't let it bother me during the game.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Only-
Okay. Did
yeah.
you won the set then?
Did he
And-
keep
yeah,
his
I won
hand
the
on your
set.
chair anyways?
No,
No.
he respectfully removed it.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I think he genuinely didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah,
he
he
was
didn't.
just really hyped for his friend.
Yeah.
Because at
Which
that
is
point I
fine.
was a top 100 player.
Yeah.
So, and somebody like Blazing beating a top 100 player would have been an amazing upset.
Yeah, for
So,
Oh, yeah.
especially.
yeah, especially being ahead game 1. So
Okay, that's fair. All right, so I guess we're almost done with your history completely.
yeah,
Yeah, just.
almost.
The history of art. Well, I mean, we can go back to childhood if you really want to.
Yeah.
But
Or like
so-
how your parents
So
grew
you
up.
are getting real nervous against wobbles. When do you is there like a time that you remember specifically where it's just like, because I mean, when you play wobbles now, it's just, you're much more calm.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm much more calm because I don't care about the outcome of the match, and I enjoy the fact that I get to play with him.
Okay.
I enjoy the fact that I just spent like a total of probably 18 hours this week practicing to fight this guy. Just him.
Yeah,
And
now you get to like.
now I get to test it. Now I get to see if this works. Yes, it did.
That brings me up to a good point.
This thing worked. Okay, but this didn't. Okay, I'm gonna go
You're-
back and
you're
review.
learning, and that's exciting.
Yes.
But that brings me up to a good point. Is Melee is a game, and it is fine. I'm not going to say Melee is just a game because I know people really want to get good at it,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
value improving, and that's good. Having goals is great, and I'm not going to undervalue any of that.
This is literally a decent amount of people's job.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
a source of income.
It is
This
the
more
reason
than
we
just
all
a game.
started playing Melee is because it's fun, and don't forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of do end up forgetting that. It's
Yeah, like
just
HVox didn't quit his job at Westrock because he was going to make way more money off of Melee. He quit his job at Westrock because he loves Melee.
Yeah, and that he is making a living off of it, and
Yeah,
enough to
that's crazy.
live decently nice is perfect. That's the
Yeah.
dream, you know.
That is, but I mean, I'm sure he also has his struggles.
Yeah,
course.
everybody's got their
Yeah,
struggles.
of
but
course.
just don't forget why we all started,
Yeah.
why you started playing
I
this
think
game.
happiness should definitely.
Because when I started playing this game, my goal, why I didn't see Melee, I was like, well, this will be my career now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure no one did.
No. And that, that's the thing. That's the goal should always be improvement. Always, always, always improvement. Nothing
Yeah.
else. Shouldn't be for money, shouldn't be for fame. Those are just
Until you're at like
byproducts.
the top level, it doesn't matter.
Exactly, yeah.
Doesn't what?
It doesn't matter. Like,
Oh yeah.
I've spent tournaments where my entire goal was to improve and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, you did that on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, going to a major helped me realize that so much. There's so
Mhm.
much more on the line in a major, and I think that I've got like the last Monday Night Melee that I entered, or when I was there, I was like, I felt way less anxious about like the
Oh, yeah.
tournament because I was like, wow, like I've been to a major. This is like just
Nothing.
time
You
to
also
get
feel
better.
just, like, more
what is this
excited
gonna?
to play the
yeah,
game.
I was like, what is this gonna mean? Like one of my goals, like I have a lot of random goals that I think of in my head. It's like almost impossible to not have certain goals. I would
Sure.
really love to be on the DFW PR one day.
Sure.
And it's like crazy. Like I don't feel anxious anymore after going to DreamHack because
Yeah.
DreamHack means way more than
Yeah.
a weekly in terms of like people, like the environment. Like
Yeah,
I
you
go
kinda
to
get, like, a sense of
yeah, I
scope.
go
And
to
there's-
I go to
Yeah.
a weekly and it's way more grassroots and I'm like, so what if I lose to X person
Yeah,
that's barely
exactly.
below me? If I do good at
Yeah,
this
that's-
next major,
I've had this conversation with Miho before. Miho tends to do way better like out of state or like majors.
Yeah.
It has more
Yeah.
intrinsic value.
It has more value, and the thing is like it's just like I don't really care. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
But like out of state, you like if you stay in Dallas and you never go to a major, you'll always be like a mid-sized big fish in a small pond. And Melee is an ocean. There
Yeah,
are a
I
lot
know.
of people.
I noticed, yeah, like that's what I noticed, like, cause Smooth didn't go to DreamHack Austin, but all the other AWOL people did, and I was like thinking like, maybe that's like, cause he's been kind of stuck lately,
Yeah.
like he's
Mhm.
like had like a point where he can't get better, and I felt really bad, and I was like, you need to come to CCC with us, cause like it's
Yeah.
like life changing
Traveling
to,
is very important.
yeah, it's like even
And
if
it's fun.
it's
I
still
enjoy it,
it's
at least.
fun,
Yeah.
and
Traveling, taking notes.
it's fun, and it
analyzing
If you-
stats.
Yeah.
If you don't travel
very
and you
important.
like never go to a super big tournament, if you stay in Dallas all the time, like you don't realize how high you can aim.
yeah.
Uh,
until you get there.
the only argument that I have for that is if you become the best of that region
Okay.
to a point where nobody in, like, let's say DFW could beat you.
Okay.
Like, I get to a certain point and be like, oh, Bananas is the best player, right? Or SFOP is the best player. I don't know who's better than who, but
It's kind of a
anyway.
toss-up, I
Yeah, it
guess.
doesn't matter.
The best player, right?
Whatever.
I look at the best player and I go, okay, I work hard, put in effort, review my matches, do all this stuff. I become the best player and I stay on top. No one can touch me,
Mhm.
right? Then I can move on. Then I can move on to the next stage, right? So once I finish shop at home, then I can move on after that.
Yeah.
And that's another way of doing it as well.
Yeah.
And that's the way I believe that PP did it, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Going to a major helped me with turning nerves so much less on the line for a weekly.
Mhm.
A weekly is just
Yeah.
like preparing you for those big days. So there's going to be a
Weeklies-
Monday Night Melee every Monday. most of the time.
Weeklies now are like Smash Fests back then.
Yeah, I heard that Smash Fest. Yeah, yes, you just told us about how Smash Fest were like.
Yeah.
We're yeah, exactly. We're really privileged with what we have, which
Yeah.
is what I say a lot.
Spoiled as shit.
Yeah.
What we need to do is start.
Which is
well, I
nice.
mean, this is off the topic, but we
Uh-huh.
need to start having more Smash Fests.
I
Smash
know.
Fests are
okay,
fun.
so summer 2014. This is when me and Blake are playing a lot,
Yeah.
and Monday Night Melee didn't really start until like October of that year. And we would have I would invite people to play at a Smash Fest pretty much every day of the week. And we
Yeah.
had 12 CRTs and 12 consoles.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's a lot.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
Are we
That
doing
was-
that
no
again?
one's
Cool.
no one's nervous.
Are we doing that again?
If we could, we can have people over. I don't know if that's a conversation for a different time.
Okay.
But,
no. That's. all right.
But
Do
like
you
it
not
was-
want to?
No, I'd be fine with it.
It was just
Okay.
more. I feel like it was just more fun because it was about learning and no one was caring about results.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah,
It
now
should always be about learning.
yeah, now there's a lot of anxiety with like shit talk and Monday Night Melee. There's
Yeah,
always a
plus
bunch
it's
of
the-
banter, everyone's
Yeah.
bitching about something. It's
Everybody's
just-
got something to
it's,
bitch
It can
about.
just be this big shit show of like, dude, X person just lost to X person just now, and then it spreads to the entire venue. And
Yeah,
you're
like,
just like,
okay.
yeah, and it's like, it is a
cares?
weekly.
Yeah, but that's like,
I think that at the top level, it's of DFW, it's pretty cool to talk about, you know, because like Hamlin beat Bananas for the first time in a while, like that's
Right.
interesting, you know. But like if it's at the mid level and stuff like that, it's like come on,
And
you
like-
don't have to shit on each other for losing.
man, Vinyl
I
beat
think
Flux 2 weeks in a row.
I think
Don't
that
care.
Yeah.
I think that the mid level, I think that actually the mid level of play is where more of the anxiety is coming into lately because
Yeah.
like they're all kind of once you get sent into losers by one of the big ones being mid level right now, you kind of have to run the gauntlet.
Yeah.
You know, and by running the gauntlet, you have to beat all the other mid level players.
Yeah.
And
You got to be
it's-
2 or 3 more players
Yeah,
at the
you're-
same skill
You're just
level.
trying to be the king of shit mountain at that point.
Yeah.
even though Shit Mountain is looking real pretty in DFW, I'm not gonna lie. We're a pretty
Shit
strong
Mountain getting
region.
better.
Yeah, we're pretty strong
I'm
region.
pretty shocked. I didn't think Dallas would do as well as it does.
Oh
against-
God, we were awful when I moved here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
were
Dallas used to be like far and
straight-
away like the worst
straight
region.
garbage. San Antonio was better than
Who used
us.
to be the best back then?
Austin.
Really?
Austin was broken. Austin had
Oh,
Arc,
they had Arc. Yeah.
Arc, MT,
Austin had
and
Austin.
Tierno.
Yeah, they had us 3. Oh, we were unstoppable.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
You guys killed everyone. Like the only person that was close to your level at that point was Mojo.
Yeah.
But, like when I moved to Dallas, the best players were probably the best was Disaster at that point.
Mhm.
Because Blues hadn't moved back yet, Wobbles hadn't moved back yet, and then like Taiki.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Taiki Shingaki.
Taiki the legend.
Is he still? Has anyone heard from him?
He hangs out with Moo sometimes.
Okay.
He's still apparently pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
the
a-
Falcon Man? Or
Well, okay, so Taiki's a whatever. Taiki had this. His real name, his tag is Mimic Mew.
Yeah.
And I just call him
Oh.
Taiki Shingaki because that's the coolest name of all time.
That's his real name.
Yeah, his name's Taiki Shingaki.
What the
That's a
fuck?
dope name, right?
That is.
he's
Yeah.
just a
He
dope
won
guy.
the name
Yeah.
lottery.
He's a sick dude. So he had this. This is off topic, but he had this period where he was like, "I'm gonna main every character in the game." So he has like, if you ask him questions about like the Bowser Game and Watch matchup, he can do like an hour-long speech on that matchup.
Never down throw Game and Watch as Bowser.
Doesn't work. That is true.
Just doesn't deal any damage.
But yeah, Dallas
That's
was
really good.
Was,
That's a good
was
move.
really bad until
He can't.
Until it became not bad anymore.
until the mid level started stepping up. Boomstick came back.
Mm-hmm.
Hamlin started beating people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like even Sans like Arc and Wobbles were still probably
We're up
the
there.
best.
See, if you
Or
think
maybe-
about it
I mean,
now,
just-
the thing is that Dallas might be the strongest region in Texas
By
because
far.
even without Arc and Wobbles,
Yeah, exactly.
we are still really good. Like Bananas and Asphalt are monsters, and Hamlin and Mouth are super fucking.
You need
good
to
too.
be careful about what you're talking about because you need to give more credit to Albert and Tierno.
Yeah, I know Albert and Tierno are super good. Don't get me wrong; they're amazing players.
I
too.
think the problem with Austin is a
You're right.
clear
It drops
drop off.
It drops
Yeah.
off so hard.
we have like
That's right.
we have a bunch of well-rounded. Like
Yeah,
I think
overall,
Houston's
well-
Just wait
definitely
for
more-
Douglas. That'll be
Houston's-
the third Falco.
Houston's definitely more well-rounded. Is the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
than us.
No, than
Then
Austin.
Because we got like Hamlin, Mouth, SFOP, Bananas, like
And then
Thorax, Boomstick.
Thorax or SDJ or
Thorax,
Boomstick,
Boomstick.
SDJ,
Boomstick.
Wubs.
what?
We have so
Oh,
many.
yeah,
we have
Wubs.
so many fifth players that
Dizzy
could do
is
amazing.
probably going to move to Dallas as soon as
Who?
he can. Dizzy.
Dizzy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if you, I
Does
swear,
he count as DFW?
Yes.
He counts
Yes.
because Tinaha is in the middle of goddamn nowhere and he only enters Dallas tournaments.
Yeah.
So DFW.
So, okay, so like if I'm calling it, if Dizzy is to move down here for 2 months, he is going to be top 5.
Oh,
in
definitely.
DFW.
You know,
Dizzy
Dizzy is the
he'll
most
learn so quickly.
Frustrating person to try to seed because he won't enter a tournament in 4 months, come back and beat Mouth and
Lunchables and just be in losers semis all out of nowhere, and everybody's just like, how the fuck
Okay,
did this kid
well.
get here? He just came out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
Literally came out of the woods. Dizzy is a
Yeah,
woodland critter.
literally came out of the wood.
Okay, so
He's a-
back to
he's a
nerds,
critter.
the real topic.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I guess we're done
Yeah.
with your history
Yeah.
at a point, but do you want to talk about out of game nerves or in game nerves first? I'll leave that up to you.
Well, we've gone over almost all of it.
Yeah,
like,
we have.
Yeah.
In-game nerves, it's all about mentality. It's all about, well, first it's defining what is it, right? Is
Okay.
it actually nerves or is it anxiety?
Okay.
Is it something that has happened to me before that is causing me to feel this way and act this way? Or is it this specific thing is causing me to feel this way and act this way currently?
Okay.
And if it is, then we have to think about, okay, well, that's probably our mentality. I'm thinking, oh, well, I really don't want to play against S-Fob.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to fuck me up.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to get so embarrassed. When the mentality there should be, I get to play against S-Fob. He's one of the best players in Dallas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I could ask him questions after this set. Like, I could literally ask him how I can get better. And even if he doesn't tell me anything, I might be able to go back and watch that match and
Because
learn
most
something
likely
from
it'll
it.
be on stream when you're playing against somebody like that. At
Yeah.
least at an MM.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's a
So-
lot to gain from it. I definitely don't think you should be scared of playing like any player, and especially
Yeah.
not a player that's just out like way better than you. That's like one of the most exciting experiences you can ever
Yeah.
have. You know.
So again, the why, what, and how.
Mhm.
If we think about those three questions, we have to think about those mostly in practice, over and over and over and over and over again, because only
Gotta
about
train yourself.
I'm just throwing a number out there, some arbitrary number, but probably only like 30% of the time are we going to actively be able to think during a game.
Mm.
Like the rest is going to be like subconscious.
Okay.
Because it has to be, because the game is just way too fucking fast.
Yeah.
It's just way too quick. So we have to go through those kind of questions while we're practicing and shadow boxing and going over it and over it and over it and over it and over it.
Okay.
So,
Makes a lot of sense actually.
yeah. So at that
I mean,
point-
otherwise you just kind of start autopiloting, right?
Yeah. You turn your autopilot into one of your strongest things. That's why Armada's stayed on top. His autopilot's real high up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Have
you
Because
seen
it
their
touches you and you die.
It's like that.
Yeah, he literally wins a neutral exchange and his
Armada has-
autopilot kills.
Armada has three or four neutral mix-ups against most characters, and then if you lose to one of them, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the value of punish game, kids. Ark did that at one point.
Really?
Oh
Realize
God!
the
I
error.
thought I could just win neutral
100 times in a row.
100 times, and then I would win. And I
I
was
mean,
just
that
like,
if you never lose neutral.
Then he got grabbed by wobbles.
yeah, and I was like, oh wait,
Oh.
never mind. I need to hit hard.
Yeah.
I should probably hit hard.
Neutral is
Oh.
definitely. I think it's more fun and
If I-
interesting, but punishing
But
someone
there's
really hard is
there's
fun.
here's the thing about improvement is if you are way better at something than something else, the thing that you're way worse at is way easier to get better at.
Why?
Because if you've ever seen like a graph of improvement, it's
Yeah, it goes like this and then
this,
it
yeah, and it levels out.
Yeah.
Because it's just I don't know, getting from, I guess like
In Melee, you always have something to work on.
yeah.
If you get stuck in neutral, work on optimizing your punish game. Punish can be optimized. In my opinion, punish can be optimized. Neutral cannot be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just work through it like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I am definitely a person that I do not get nervous in tournament when I'm playing.
Okay.
What was the last tournament you entered? How long ago was that?
The last tournament I entered was Genesis 4.
Oh yeah, okay.
which
So
I
it was
did
January. right?
Pretty well at that. But the last tournament I entered in Dallas was February at a dime. No, not at a dime. At a Monday Night Melee, 2016.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't.
Yeah. No, it was a.
Okay.
So I remember that tournament very clearly because it was the week before I think I entered a couple weeks back before that. And then I showed up to M&M and I was like feeling anxious and I was like not gonna enter. And this had happened to me like a few weeks in the early 2016 where I just like didn't enter because I was like feeling really anxious.
Okay.
Whenever I did enter, I did well. Like I decided like to enter that tournament and I ended up getting top 8 of that tournament. But it's really weird for me because I don't get nervous in game, but I get really, really nervous at a game. And I like
How so? Like,
I don't
What
know.
do you- like,
I
what
don't
do
even
you-
know why. It's not like any particular thought that happens. It's just. It's,
Well,
I
like,
mean, I guess
what do you define by like out of game?
out
Like,
of like
after the game?
No,
or, like, before.
the tournament even starts. Like worried about whether I should enter or not.
gotcha.
I guess I don't like have a specific thoughts. Probably subconsciously, I'm worried about who I lose to, but it's like
Mhm.
it's not a very conscious thought of mine. But it like has prevented me from entering tournaments before. But then I feel stupid for doing it because every time I do enter, I do better than I expect to.
Yeah.
Yes, that has happened to me so many times too, where I'm like, dude, I don't know if I should enter. I think I'm playing bad, and then I get like a 9th or something,
Yeah.
which is good for me at the
Um,
time.
I mean,
That's still-
coming
that's
up
good.
this Monday, the only reason I was like, I'm planning on entering, but the only reason I've considered not entering was because, like, at the end of the day, like you said, the goal is improvement. Until you're at the
Yeah.
top level, winning and losing does not matter one bit.
No.
Um,
It's win-win either way. Either I get the, hey, yay, I won. Or, hey, yay, I learned something.
yeah, but like it's
Or
weird.
both.
It's weird for
Or
me
both.
because it's like because I'm learning a lot right now, especially with the new character.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
going into a tournament, I definitely don't want to like play someone and be like, okay, I could lose this.
Mhm.
And then you reset all that you've learned and you take a step back.
Hmm.
But there's one of the skills I've learned, and I talked to Fiction about this, good old Shepherd Lima. Shoutouts to that cool name he has.
Yeah.
But
his name?
Yeah, his name is Shepherd Lima.
Like his real name?
Yeah, it's his real name.
Fiction, yeah.
That is an interesting name.
Yeah, so he told me that, like, I was like, okay, I have this fight or flight instinct that kind of takes over when I play in tournament. And I think that's why I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
Is it's
You
just
do?
like
He's
I
telling
don't
you-
get nervous
Okay.
in
No,
tournament.
like the fight or flight.
Yeah, that's why.
That's you.
That's why it's just like an instinctual thing when I play.
Your primal instinct.
Yes, actually. I think it's. So we talked about it, and he was like, well, people that have that instinct tend to get baited a lot. And really, the only way at a point to get better at the game is you've got to be able to play the way that you want, no matter the circumstance.
Yeah.
So,
Which is why I keep telling you to look at Cyrox.
what?
Which is why I keep telling you to look at Cyrox. If you want to keep playing the game.
You
wanna-
never told me to do that, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I swear, I think you've said that to me a couple of times.
Have I might
And
have
me and
got you on
GP are
this.
basically the same person.
Honestly, look at him.
I mean,
Tell
Shut the
me
fuck up.
one difference.
You're a fuck.
We're both nice white Jewish boys.
Middle name guitar. Both of you.
Podcast is over. It was a nice podcast.
Okay, so yeah, no, I want to. It's just like I don't think I'm worried about. I'm not worried about what's going to happen. I feel like I'm more worried about what I'm going to do and not wanting to like set myself back.
Right.
Yeah.
So, which is why at a point I was like, okay, I can come to Eminem, and I was thinking last week I was like, maybe I should just go for friendlies until I like feel confident in my game plan.
Yeah.
Which in the back of my mind that's still an option, but I'm still planning on entering.
You should enter.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing it.
I'm not gonna let you bitch out of entering on Monday. I'm gonna peer pressure you into entering one way or another.
Okay, I'm
Just
gonna,
to stop me into peer pressure.
I'm gonna not enter just
I don't peer
just for that
pressure.
interaction.
I
Good.
don't peer pressure.
That's a lie.
I was gonna try
That
and
is
think
a
of peer pressure, but I
bold-faced
couldn't
lie.
think of anything that I
No.
could peer pressure you with.
Yeah, I would just.
How do I peer pressure?
I would just make fun of you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go
yeah.
into this right
Let's be
now.
honest.
Let's be honest, that never goes well for you.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to Monday though. It'll be fun,
Yes, it will.
whether I enter or not. But enter is like a 90% chance. Either way,
Mhm.
I'll get to play with people again.
And that's fun.
Mhm.
I think a lot of I guess the things that nerves, I guess, stem from for most people, I feel like is the fact that they're like, you know, I want to play more in tournament or whatever, or I don't want this to be my last game kind of thing. I guess it's from what I've seen. And I think a lot of people just kind of have to realize, or like kind of think of like, I guess the bright side of the fact that like, you know, even though their tournament run is ending here, you know, there's still a lot of time for you to play friendlies, or like there's still a lot that you
Yeah.
could have learned from the interactions in the sets that you did play, whether it be like 2 or 6 or whatever. And you know, plus it's like, at Monday Night Melee, it's a weekly, right? You just 7 more days and you get to play again.
Yeah.
And
So-
actually, not even 7 more days because there's a weekly
There's
every day.
yeah,
of the
actually,
week.
yeah.
Literally
there's
every day
literally
of the
no
week.
fucking.
There's no, yeah.
There's okay, so Monday's Monday Night Melee.
No, Falcon.
Falcons is
Falcons
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What is Tuesday?
There-
Tuesday's
Thursday's
Java,
run
Thursday's
back.
run back.
Friday-
And every other Friday is CE.
Yeah, every other Friday.
Okay,
is
and
Either
then-
CE or Snooze
There's
Fest.
nothing Saturday though.
There's sometimes a
That's
month.
way too many.
But every
That's way too
weekday.
many.
Sunday.
We gotta
is
start
Red Line.
alternating on Monday Night Melees and make it more of a hangout.
You think?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Why?
That'd be cool.
Make it more of a hangout and more of a hey, let's get better.
That's what INV
As a
does
community.
now, and it's fun as fuck.
Yeah, I don't. That's like, because Sonny, he stopped going to Monday Night Melee at a point because, dude, it feels like a chore to go to Monday Night Melee
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, it
it's not
does.
like half the time. Like the reason I go to IAB more is because it's just the environment is more fun.
Yeah.
There's less people, which is part of it, but it's just
Yeah,
like
it's less people getting
play
mad
it
all
because
the
they
time.
like the game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't like the game anymore and still play it. There's like a
Yes.
part of them that
Because they
just
feel
can't
like
leave it.
obligated for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah, and they
And
can't
plus,
leave
it's
it.
just like at a tournament, it's just like it gets kind of draining seeing everybody get like mad, after they lose or whatever, and it's just like,
Yeah,
like,
or
I just wanted to come here to have fun, and I see all of my friends get like pissed off. for
Last
whatever
year,
reason.
February was the last tournament I entered,
Uh-huh.
and then February to June, I definitely could have entered tournaments.
You just didn't want
But
to.
I didn't because the reason was me and Sonny would just play for like 4 or 5 hours straight,
Uh-huh.
and there was way more value in my mind to like playing a bunch of friendlies and like actively trying to learn than playing like 6 tournament matches and getting no friendlies in.
No.
That's fair. That's a pretty good.
but with the new FX, it's going to be a lot easier.
It's gonna be a lot better.
It's
once
going to
the-
be a lot
20
easier to
setups.
get in those.
Also,
yeah.
the new Stream TV is lit.
Yeah, it's super
It's
cool.
a,
Is it?
It's a PVM.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, it's Zach's PVM that he donated.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
It's
expensive.
Axes?
Zach.
Zach's.
Zach's.
Is the-
Oh, so he donated that? The one that he just didn't ever use?
Yeah, the microwave.
PVMs are like the
yeah.
best, right?
Yeah, they're like $500 to $1,000 usually. He
Yeah.
got it for $80.
How?
Some guy on Craigslist.
Just didn't know what he
It
had.
was in perfect condition.
That's insane.
Yes, it is the best picture I've ever seen on a CRT.
Okay, I want to go see it.
It's so lit.
Huh.
But
They have 2, right?
I think they might have 2. I don't know.
No, 2 like stream TVs.
They do.
Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I've kind of delved into my like,
Yeah.
how I feel about tournamenters. I don't know how you guys feel though.
I think I've touched up on everything I wanted to talk about too.
Really?
How
If
about
you
you?
want to, I mean, you can go over how you experience your tournament nerves or whatever.
Well, at the beginning of the tournament, I usually, like, if you know, I don't know if you guys have noticed really, but at the beginning of the tournament, I'm way different from when I usually am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm way different when it comes to like the beginning of the tournament in a tournament environment.
Yeah, you'll
Cole
just.
doesn't see that often.
No, I
but,
don't.
like,
I've only seen it once, and
yeah.
it was a dime.
Yeah, and I am super focused and
Yeah.
ready. I don't talk to people.
Yeah,
that
you just
much.
walk
I
around the
mind
store
my own
and, like-
business and
Yeah.
like walk around the store, and that's helped me a lot. Is to just like get in my own zone,
Yeah.
And like I've noticed that when I get in my own zone, and I just kind of think about what my game plan is today and what I know I'm weaker at and what I know I'm stronger at, and work on the weaker things during my first set, because usually my round 1 like is like a newer player, so I can just work on some newer stuff like way easier.
Yeah.
But
And
figure things
before all that too, before you actually start playing in the tournament, start taking deeper breaths.
yeah, I do.
You take deeper breaths, get that oxygen flowing.
Also,
Yeah.
always take your time on the respawn platform.
Yeah, I also
Yeah, you were talking about
I'll
that
also
earlier.
walk outside
We should go into that
sometimes,
once he's done.
or like after one of my sets or after a big win, and I'll just hang out outside
Yeah.
and like just calm down, because
Yeah.
like that was it could be like a really intense set. Like,
If every, you should take credit for every win, but you
Yeah.
should take credit for every loss as well.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
So.
Actually, yeah,
it's
I think a lot
No
of
matter if it was stupid or not,
yeah.
you
That-
could
There
have
is-
been better.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, that
no
was your
way you
loss.
can tell me
Yeah.
that if you lost, you could not have played better.
Yeah, no, I know.
No.
I
There's
got
no way.
I got wobbled at DreamHack for my first tournament. My first tournament at
Yeah.
DreamHack was just Wobble City in terms of
Nice.
So it was really fun. still, but it could have been a better experience.
Whatever, yeah.
But I played against Spencer69, and I was really mad at first, and then I was just like, well, I'll just start. Like, I noticed, like, holy shit, I dropped so many Nana kills.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's my big thing, because I won neutral most of the time.
Mhm.
Let's just kill Nana every time I can.
Yeah.
So I've been practicing that a ton, because the new 20XX bots are actually pretty good for that.
And the
'cause they're
replay
hard to
function
catch.
is the greatest thing that's ever been created.
Dude, I've been using that and it is insane. It is so cool.
I'll teach you again when we get home.
So,
Okay, well, not that. I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna tell the story.
Oh, he told us.
Oh no, I'm not gonna tell the story of your AI replay grabbing me.
Oh,
And
dude,
then
how did you
smash-
make it do that?
I didn't. It automatically did it for some reason.
I don't know how you input smash DI when you grabbed. I don't know what you were thinking, but you're a legend.
I don't know how out
Did
of
you do-
down tilt I got grabbed, though.
No, you didn't down till it was after the dash dance grab.
Oh, right.
That's not the
That's
point.
the drill, but yeah.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
anybody
yeah,
else
yeah.
have anything to say about Charlie Nash?
Okay, so I was gonna talk about this is a niche thing, but take
Yeah.
your time on the respawn platform, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Don't if it's the exception obviously is like puff, rest, rush down, hit her as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
even if a Samus is charging a shard shot, one, you're not gonna get there in time to stop her, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Just think. Don't give them momentum for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
time,
You
take
get
it.
gimped, you come right back down, and you're like, I want to fight.
Waiting is
You
good.
get
Gimped
gimped.
again. You're like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the worst feeling in
Yeah.
the world.
That
And-
was you and SVOP's relationship.
Oh my
in a sense.
god.
Yeah, because it's just like if you just like you die and you come immediately back, you haven't come up with another game plan.
And the other way to stay positive is and that brings me to something that's important is staying positive.
Right.
Something I talked to Santiago about, and I've talked with Hamlin about this is whenever anything happens to you, but if you think it's stupid or not, and they did something good, just smile and nod your head. And the reason you do that is because the way our bodies work is like if our body does an action, our brain responds to that action. So like if you are positive in your body language, you will be more positive in your mind.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So I've been trying to do that lately.
That's the kind of stuff I've been doing actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
been
tr-
helping me.
I've been trying to do that lately, where I will play friendlies and I'll be like, I was playing you the other day. Whenever you would do like anything, I was like, oh, that was sick. I would just like nod my head
Mhm.
because there's at the end of the day, I mean, I understand why people are negative. I understand why people get down on themselves.
Yeah, it's really
but
easy.
it really only hurts you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually shake my head when shit happens in tournament.
Yeah,
Even if I'm
it's
getting,
just like some kind of
wobbled or something.
stimulus.
I wasn't mad the entire set that I got wobbled. It was just afterwards that I was
That's
upset.
so dangerous doing those head motions and stuff because players like
'Cause
me,
they can see it,
eventually
right?
I'll take notice of it. One of the examples that I have is of Hamlin in teams. Of
Oh, when
Hamlin
you
out.
shine spiked him a million times.
I shine spiked Hamlin once, and Hamlin
He shook his head.
he did that, and he shook his head really hard, and I just guess where you're going. And
And
a
you just-
one-way ticket to Shine
But
City, my
if
friend.
you just nod your head and stay positive, one, you won't get in your own head, and
Yeah.
two,
Two,
there's
they're-
nothing to exploit at that
Yeah,
point.
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, they nodded
If
his
you,
head. Like, that
dude,
was
best case
legit.
scenario, continuously nod the entire set. They will not be able
Yeah,
to get
until you have
any
fucking-
Fucking
information.
shit eating great. Oh, that's Ganesh when he plays.
I have
Just
li-
a shit
You
eating
just
great.
have a
I literally have
shit-eating
no
grin.
expression when I play whatsoever.
Nodding
so
your
it's
head
kinda
the whole
difficult
game.
to read.
No information can be
So
gained.
you have no expression
Ever.
90% of the
I
time.
have no emotions.
Not even when talking about eating
Yeah,
batteries.
I dead ass have no emotions. I'm
Eating
empty
what?
ball of
Batteries.
Oh,
Dead
yeah.
ass.
Same.
Makes you
You
stronger
see,
than ever.
You and I have a lot in common.
Yes, family.
Family. My
Okay.
neighbor.
Okay, Adam, what's your history with tournament nerves?
I used to get them really bad, but I always ever since I was young, I guess, or young, in middle school, I would always play competitive games, and so I was always kind of exposed to the environment of winning or losing or whatever. Even though I never really cared to get super good at any of them. I kind of had the experiences of being in those types of scenarios, going to tournaments or whatever. So when I first started, I guess even when I first started playing Melee, I was super nervous all the time. Even before I would play anybody, I'm like, dude, I don't know who this is. He's probably better than me. you know, and I'd go into the game thinking like, you know, he's probably better than me, and then I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
I kind of set myself up for failure. And then after a few tournaments, I kind of realized where my mentality was going, and I was like, this is just kind of a stupid way to think, you know, and I just
Yeah.
kind of tried to like, you know, I just made an active attempt to like just change the way
And not
my
give a
thought
fuck,
process worked,
yeah.
right? It's just like, instead of thinking like, dude, this guy's probably better than me, you know, I would always think like, okay, he could be better than me, I could be better than him. Either way, you know,
Something is
something's
about to happen.
the game is
You are
gonna
about to play
the game is gonna
Melee.
go down one way or another. There's no point in me being nervous about it.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
next.
it's like,
Yeah.
if there's nothing I can do to change it at this point, there's no reason to
And
be
if
worried.
you have predicted every move accurately, step by step for the entire
You should
game,
be the
you're
best
probably the
player.
best player in the world.
Shout outs to Armada.
Shout out to Armada.
PP.
Or
Yeah.
PP, yeah.
More like PV.
Yeah,
Oh my
PP
God.
actually, yeah, Armada
Mhm.
hates playing against PP.
I've never seen Armada get more upset than when he plays PP.
Yeah.
Like,
PP pisses him the fuck off. Like his face will
Yeah,
get
because
red.
Armada's game plan is relying on like, okay, eventually, one of these mix-ups will work, and I will kill you. But they just don't, because Kevin's a god at neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your take?
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, I've pretty much just kind of created a mentality for myself of just like, there's no reason for me to be worried. Like even in game, like I will get nervous, like you know when the game is really close, or like if I think I might lose or whatever. But I kind of just know when that stuff is happening to myself, and I try to like calm myself down with thinking like, I need to start thinking about the game.
and back to the questions is, when it gets really close like that, and you're
Mhm.
both at high percent, how might my opponent play now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I start.
And
Because I
then-
used to be like, when it was super high percenta, I'd just be worried about like, I need to get this win now because it's super close, or like,
Just
you know,
one back
thinking
air,
about
the Fox
that.
Ditto. It's just like just
Yeah,
one back
right.
air. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's what
both
I was
have
thinking. I
your-
was just like-
you both have your back towards each other the
the
entire
whole time. I'm
Yeah.
like, only one of these.
If I only need to hit him with backer, why would I use any other move? I'll
Yeah,
just full
why
on
did I-
backer
yeah,
a lot.
just-
Eventually, I'll get him.
Exactly.
And
But
then
you're at the same percent, then
and
you
then-
get hit by the back air, or
You're
you
like-
trade, and
Well,
one of y'all
that's
dies first.
bullshit. Yeah, but it's like, now I just kind of think like, whenever it's a super close situation like that, I think to myself like, he's probably nervous too, right? It's just that kind of
I just try
stuff.
to not think about the person next to me at all.
Yeah, best
Or-
case scenario that, but it's
or-
just like,
Do what Leffen does and think this is exactly why I came here.
yeah.
You know, like as for these last hit situations.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I started playing Melee, is for this.
No matter
kind
what's
of
happened,
excitement.
you're still playing Melee. Melee is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, what I'll usually do is I'll try to be like friendly to the guy I'm playing against, just because it kind of helps me feel like it's less of a super serious
Really, I just
environment or whatever.
punch
your
my
opponent's
opponent.
your best friend.
Yeah. I'll just
They're
try, I'll
there
be nice
show
to him.
you
Plus,
the
like,
weakest points in your
Your
gameplay.
best friend that you beat the fuck out of.
yeah. Plus, like,
Yeah.
if he does end up being way better than me, if I'm, hopefully I was nice to him and he'd be down to play friendlies with me after the tournament, and then I'd get better that way too,
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess
That's pretty much my take
We
on it.
can.
Unless
wanna-
you have anything, do you have anything else in specific to add, or you think you want to go over?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I think
Okay,
everything's
we
been
can
said.
move on to, I guess, if you want to bring up chat, if they have any questions.
Maybe. I don't know, because it was kind of a last second thing, so I don't know how many people tuned in. But I was just gonna post the VOD after, but we can.
We can see if anyone's there, and then we can
I
we
will
can do the
check
thing
chat.
Malf recommended, where we can.
Oh
go
yeah, you
through-
want to check?
We're starting to do this thing where we go through the latest Eminem bracket,
Mhm.
and we go and see what other people's perspectives on how people are doing is.
Yeah, there are no questions
we'll
in
get-
particular.
Yeah, we'll
There's
talk
just-
about you versus.
I don't want to.
Yeah, it's okay, Ark.
There are no questions in particular. It's just a whole bunch of shit posts. in the
Okay,
chat,
that's
so
fine.
we can
Bring
just go.
up
Okay.
T-Lock Death
We can just pull up
on-
Monday Night Melee.
You guys mind if I use the restroom real quick?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
I really have to go back. I'll be right back. Talk about
A bunch of shit
for a
posters, but I
while.
love shit posters. What are they shit posting?
There's no questions though.
Yeah, they're
What are
pretty
they
much.
shit posting?
It's pretty much just like.
Is it Linus again?
Yeah, it's Zayd talking about Catherine. There's a lot of people.
Zayd talking about Catherine.
Yeah, do you know Linus?
You do know Linus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do know Linus. You like trained him and stuff, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know Linus.
Yeah, him. He plays Catherine. You know that
Oh,
game?
yeah.
He just talks about that all the time while we're streaming for whatever reason.
Oh, okay. Sick, sick. All right. I can get down with it.
And there was just a whole bunch of no longer in context things about stuff we were talking about earlier. So
No longer in context things. Okay.
yeah. It's like there was one that was just like fuck tier now or something. Where is it?
Scroll down.
Monday Night Melee. This one?
Yeah, that was it.
It is, right?
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's talk about where upsets happen. Okay, so Miho beat VTS.
I can move this closer. I turn the camera off.
No upsets until okay, so SWAT beating Hamyojo again, not really a surprise. SWAT beat Mojo though for the first time.
Yeah, that was
What do you think
shocking.
about that?
That was very shocking. I think Mojo SD'd
Did he?
a little bit, but
Yeah.
even still,
I think I remember.
we take
Somebody
those.
saying that.
We do.
Mojo turned to me and said, you know, he won. Like, he beat me.
It's fair.
What else? Did anything really?
Okay, so one person that's on the come up I want to talk about is like Soto.
Oh yeah, where
Soto.
where is he?
He's
There he is.
yeah, he beats Smooth.
He beat Smooth, Studebaker,
and then
he
he
lost
beat,
to S5. Go, somebody let
I'll
Justice
get
in.
him. He beat Arsenals and Losers.
Yeah, and then he beat Arsenals. He is a very good player. He used to. I think the biggest issue with him is he can never decide on a main because like his
Yeah.
first character was Luigi, and then he played Captain Falcon, and then he played Falco, and now he plays Fox.
Soto is really good.
He's very good.
He's just so goofy.
Yeah.
He's the weirdest
You want to know
guy.
why? Let me tell you this, Ark. This was really funny. The
Okay.
reason why he switched off from Fox,
From Falco.
the reason why he switched. Okay, so he played Smooth in bracket.
Yes.
And he beat Smooth, but
Yeah.
game one he lost, and the reason why he quit Fox was because Smooth SDI'd 3 up airs in a row. That is why he switched off of Fox. Just that. There was no other reason, not because he lost.
Man.
Yeah, he's a really goofy kid.
SDI counters.
Lovely, lovely lad.
Yeah, but he's
He's
actually
a very good
Yeah,
player.
he's a really good player. He's just one of those players that's he has a good mentality, but he's super goofy.
His mentality is really weird, actually. Anytime he plays against like a Sheik or something, he'll just get really mad at them and tell them to go play Smash 4.
Okay, never mind.
It's weird. It's really weird.
Strange anyway.
Okay, so Arsenal's also having not a great tournament, losing to Burr and Soto.
Soto's not a bad loss
No,
in my opinion, but,
that is not a bad loss.
Burr is a pretty interesting loss.
but he did not play that well. Also, I gave Burr a bunch of advice on the Fox duo, and I was like telling him a bunch of shit about it, and it gave him.
Oh, I want to talk about the Hamlin SFOP set from winners though.
Where's that?
'cause
S-Swap here?
This is an interesting set because Hamlin loses game 1 as Sheik, wins game 2 as Falcon, switches to Pikachu game 3 and gets 4-stocked.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
What do you think about the Pikachu counter pick?
I think it's stupid, and it was a meme pick, and it worked maybe once, but it won't probably work
That was
again.
a fluke. It had to have been. I mean, obviously it did.
The
It is.
seeding
He
was weird.
4-stocked.
Well, it did work before, but like if he
Well, yeah, but
either
it's still, like-
took something from it, he most likely took something from that beating. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
SFOP seems like that kind of.
No, SFOP, yeah, I know Ben really well, and I know that like after he lost to Hamlin like that, he was not letting that happen again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Boom 6 beats Mouth, kind of an upset.
I was watching that stuff.
And then moving on, we have Mojo beats Boomstick. You beat Hamlin and his new Falcon. What do you think about the new Hamlin Falcon?
I gave it too much respect in game 1, and it was really close. And then I kind of cooled off, got into my groove, and then game 2 went smooth as butter.
Right.
Okay.
Do you think? What do you think about his new Falcon?
I don't mind it. I think it's okay. I think it's a little too memey in certain situations. Still,
really? What do you- like,
Too
what do
many
you
side Bs, too
define
many
by
down
that?
smashes,
Okay.
too many up smashes, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I definitely think it's headed in the right direction.
Okay.
Cool.
So
You. Mojo
Now, do you want
beat-
to talk about your run at all, or?
I mean, yeah, we can.
Who sent you to loser?
I just kind of want to talk about the
Bananas.
rare smooth thing a little bit.
You want to?
Okay.
What's up?
So Burr beats Smooth.
Burr beat Smooth 2 tournaments in a row, and they are now like 7
7
and
and
2.
2.
And
Yeah.
but
In
like
Smooth's
this was
favor.
just recently a thing of him beating him twice in a row.
Huh.
That's actually really interesting. That's like where the mid-level stuff comes in, because a lot of the top players don't know about what goes down in this cesspool of like fuckery and the and the mid-tier gauntlet.
The mid-tier shit
But it's just like me and Arsenal's usually do pretty decently in there. Me, Arsenal's, Jahani, but then there's like me, Arsenal's, Jahani, Smooth.
Who is that?
Very tasty snatch.
Yeah.
That's
That's
VTS.
VTS.
Is that what it stands for?
No, it
No.
stands for Vobbles the
He
Sphinx.
he changes it every week.
What? It stands for what?
Vobbles the Sphinx.
No, I no. The
What
original
is
one was
that?
Very Terrible Smasher.
Was it?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay.
What is?
It's like Wobbles the Phoenix.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm just standing up. I'm
Yeah.
You've been sitting down for a while.
This Eminem was kind of interesting.
Okay.
It's very
But-
interesting, yeah.
I think that's
SFOP losing to Mojo in losers finals. He was up 2-0.
he was up 2-0. He got reverse 3-0'd.
Damn.
Yep, Mojo will do that. Mojo has endurance.
He does.
He's
Mojo
very
has-
tenacious.
I think that's one thing about Mojo is Mojo just.
He
At
just
every
refuses to
time
quit.
he just doesn't stop playing the game.
Fuckload of endurance. It's because he plays so much when he goes into Houston. When he goes to Houston and plays people, he sits down and plays for hours until he goes to bed. Like
He
it's
won't play
Smash
with
Fest.
anyone.
He will, it doesn't matter. He'll play with absolutely anyone.
Did you set off the stream?
No, the stream's still going. I'm just packing up what I can.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
so I think that's
Pretty much it.
pretty much
I can't really
it.
think of much else. Unless any of you have something you want to end on.
No.
I think
Thank you, chat. What's up, chat?
Let's go chat.
Chat.
Let's say chat a few more times.
I love
Before we end the
chat. I
stream.
love chat. Chat. I trust chat with my life.
All right.
do not.
Quoted by PPMD.
Is that what he said?
PPMD literally said that once.
chat, you betcha. All right, but I think that's it.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. We will see you. We're gonna do another one next week because we missed last week.
Yeah, we will. We'll figure out what that is.
We'll let you guys know.
No, we're not. I have to hang out with Allison.
Actually, yeah, same. Yeah, I'm hanging out with Allison
You
too.
are not hanging out with Allison.